Hello all, welcome to the Girly Gardening channel, and today we are growing potatoes. Y'all know I love potatoes. It's probably why I'm shaped like one. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video. Don't like a big intro? So the first thing I'm going to do is harvest these last bit of carrots that King Cock did not destroy. These were atomic reds, and I did get a few nice sizes out of them. It went right into beef stew. But potatoes don't need to be filled to the brim. So when you put them in your container, you don't fill the container all the way to the top. And as I wander aimlessly looking for my spade thingy, I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing. So I'm adding in the fertilizer because this dirt was used for cabbages, and cabbages are pretty heavy feeders. And potatoes are heavy feeders, but they're a root crop. So these are my seed potatoes. I mix in bone meal in the soil and some generic fertilizer. And this is the important part. It's 3 spuds to a 5-gallon container. So you can do 3 seed potatoes to a 5-gallon container, and don't fill the container up all the way. Y'all see that? That's a fine ass man right there. Now the potatoes in the ground. The next thing I'm going to plant is garlic. Oops, shucks. I have no clue what I'm doing. I've seen some videos on garlic, but I'm not entirely sure if I even did this right. So we're gonna go ahead and just put these in 5-gallon containers. I read you can put 5 cloves per gallon. So that's what I'm gonna do in this $5. It's 5 gallons. So you don't need to bury garlic deep into the container. I think you need to leave out just a tip. So anyway, I'm just going to push the garlic clove barely into the soil, and fertilizer, of course, but bone meal, because this dirt was also used to grow cabbages. And I'm going to show you guys in a later video how I recycle my dirt. But for this, I'm just going to mix in some blood meal and some bone meal, because garlic doesn't need much. It really needs to be put in the ground and left alone. So space the cloves out good enough, and I am going to go back over this and cover it with a little bit more soil, but don't bury it. Leave out just a tip. And what is garlic and potatoes without onions? And these are some seed sets that I definitely didn't forget in the trunk of my car for 2 days, because I thought I left them at Home Depot, and I called and asked and sounded like an idiot. Yeah, I didn't do that. So these are red onions. And I have never grown onions before, so we're going to also learn together. All right, seems simple enough. I'm using a lot of bone meal in this video because I had a lot of heavy feeders in here over the winter. So I'm mixing in my bone meal, and I'm going to put it directly in between my lettuce and my celery. I had a video for how I transplanted my celery, but then it got deleted because I have a child and she plays on my phone. Anyways, onion sets, you can start them as seeds, but I've heard that they're better as sets. So you just put them in the ground. What I did was I covered up the purple part of the onion and left the green part still exposed, so that way it won't rot. Onions form a bulb, and I got them spaced out enough, just enough so that I can get like some decent sized bulbs. Bulb. Anyway, make sure the soil is loose and fertile. Onions are pretty decent sized feeders, but they do need loose soil. Not as loose as carrots, but it needs loose soil to form the onion itself. So after I plant anything like onions, where there's sets like that, or I do a transplant of a live plant. Even though I fertilize the ground, I want to give it an immediate boost of like immediate fertilizer. So I do, I think a tablespoon of fish emulsion to 1 gallon of water, and then I water it in really well. So you don't really, it's not rocket science. I can show you how I do it. Yeah, look at them knees like Megan. Okay, come through knees. Yeah, you just add water to the gallon and water everything very end. Avoid the leaves and avoid drowning the plant. You don't want to water it so much that the plant lifts up from the soil. So just water it decently. And I'm just adding a little more dirt because once I watered these onion sets, the dirt settled in. But this is pretty much like new soil in this bed. So that's why it settled in like that. And then I'm going to water my garlic, and you're going to see me add more dirt to the garlic because I'm sorry about the throat clearing. I'm still recovering from COVID. But I watered the garlic, and I had to add more soil to it because garlic is so light. It doesn't have anything to hold it in. So I just buried it a little bit more, but still leave out just a tip. Thank y'all so much for watching the video on the Girly Gardening channel. Y'all have a blessed day. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll get to everybody.